I told y'all that I was going to make this video, but I said I was going to make this video probably recorded on a Monday after final reports came in, but one of my subscribers had tagged me in a post, not this one, and I might actually pull that one up when I'm done reading this article. And I'm recording this actually on the 4th. It is actually currently July 4th, 2020, 9:48 p.m. And this article was updated 12 minutes ago, which means it was just posted today. And look at what they have up already. Now, me, Nicole's View, and Harvey, and shout out to those two, we just did a live stream earlier today. And I had mentioned how I'm prepared for them to come out with all these shootings that happened on the 4th. And they have already started, and the day isn't even over yet. As a matter of fact, if y'all can hear in the background, there's already shooting off fireworks as we speak, because it is still relatively early where I'm at for this, considering the day that it is. And they've already come out with it. Look at this. Chicago, July 4th, 22 shot, 3 fatally in weekend violence so far, which means there's going to be more that's going to come from this. Now, I don't know if I'm going to add on to that to see what those final numbers are going to be when Monday comes, but I wanted to talk about how they came out with this immediately right now. It's almost like they were waiting to talk about this. Remember how I told y'all in my live stream on Friday that they will probably already have what they want to say already written up? I won't be surprised if this was already written up yesterday and they just put it out today. And when I say yesterday, I'm talking about the 3rd, as in the day that I did my live stream, and they put it out today on the 4th. I wouldn't be surprised. But let's see what they're talking about. At least 22 people have been and 3 killed over the holiday weekend in Chicago thus far. And that says over the weekend. The weekend isn't even over yet. It's still Saturday. It's not even through Sunday yet. This isn't Sunday part of the weekend. The weekend, and a group exited the vehicle firing shots in the direction of the victim. Shoot, the vehicle that pulled up could have been someone who was in CPD. The girl was shot in the forehead. Police says she's transported to Stroger Hospital in critical condition. Area 4 detectives are investigating. As of 5 p.m., police had recovered 17 firearms. It says a woman was shot to death and 2 men were wounded Saturday near 31st Street Beach on the south side. They were walking around about 5:20 a.m. in the 3100 block of South Lake Shore Drive when a group of about 6 males approached, according to the Chicago police. None of the stuff that they're saying even, let me continue. 3 or 4 members of the group distracted the 34-year-old woman while 2 other suspects pulled out guns and started shooting at her and the 2 men she was with, police said. The woman was hit in the head and pronounced dead at the scene. A 26-year-old man was shot in the right leg, thigh, and torso. Police said he was taken to the University of Chicago Medical Center, but his condition was not immediately known. The other man, age 32, was grazed on his left leg. According to police, he was taken to Northwestern Memorial Hospital in good condition. No one is in custody as Area 1 detectives investigate. Are we even surprised by the last part I just read where it said no one is in custody? I told y'all they're not going to have no one in custody, but they got all these shootings that happen. Now, I had made a joke on the live stream that I had with Harvey and Nicole where I said, who's doing all these shootings? Nightcrawler? Now, that was hours before I'm reading this article, but look at these different locations in which these shootings happen, and they all happen around the same time. In different locations, you can tell because every quote unquote alleged victim went to a different hospital. Not one of them, not one or even 2 of them went to the same place. And it was 3 of them. Like, none of this makes any sense. And it's crazy because it's unfortunate that I feel like I'm one of the few people that actually sees this for what it is. And it's unfortunate that is, and it was even more bad is that there are people who live in Chicago who don't see it for what it is either. But there's more. Later Saturday morning, a 31-year-old man was fatally shot Saturday in Inglewood on the south side. About 7:15 a.m., he was sitting in the driver's seat of a parked vehicle in the 6400 block of South Hoyne Avenue when someone inside a dark colored SUV began firing shots in his direction. That could have been an undercover vehicle for all we know. He was struck in the chest, neck, right arm, and rushed to the University of Chicago Medical Center, where he was pronounced dead. Here we go. There's another location that's different from the others. The Cook County Medical Examiner's Office has not released the details of his death. This is Area 1 detectives are investigating. A 20-year-old man was shot and killed near the 6600 block of South Halstead Saturday morning. Earlier in the week, Chicago's mayor and police superintendent laid out their plans to curb violence in the city of the 4th of July holiday weekend, including 1,200 more police officers on the street. Now, here's the thing. If they got 1,200 more police on the street, how in the hell are all these shootings still happening, but they don't have not one suspect? Come on, people. I need y'all to use y'all thinking caps. I need y'all to just leave the emotions out of it and really think about this for a second. If they got all these cops out here on the street like they claim they do, how are they not coming up with not one suspect? 1,200 cops? And all these alleged cameras that they have? Let me continue. Mayor Lori Lightfoot announced a new violence prevention dashboard to identify hotspots throughout the city and coordinate efforts between police and violence prevention groups to try and make the holiday weekend safe. You know what they need to do? Do like they're doing in Atlanta. Give the cops a break. Because if you saw, the crime went down there without them. They did the same thing in New Jersey, I think Camden. Not recently, but before, with the defunding of the police, and the crime went down. Are you seeing a pattern? They need to do the same thing for Chicago, but they're not going to do that because they need to keep this narrative going. These lies. These are nothing but a bunch of lies. But see, palm-colored people will love these lies because they love to see or put out there that it's black people doing all of these shootings, when I truly believe that is not the case. Whenever they come up with a shooting involving a black person, I'll believe it when they actually have a suspect. And like I said on the live stream, usually when they do have a suspect, it's usually 1 or 2 victims that was involved, no more than maybe 5. But all these wild numbers that they keep coming up with, it always happens on the weekend, and it usually always happens during a holiday, quote unquote. It doesn't make sense. And they never, ever have a suspect. And they're not going to have one. See, they pump these stories out so much to the point where people will overlook the part of them not having a suspect. And they'll never ask, oh, did you put this person in custody? Because there was no one to put there, because it was most likely those in the department that did it. It says the best way to reduce violence is to prevent it from happening. He said we will be targeting criminal networks that are the pipeline to violence in this city over the 4th of July weekend. Chicago police will be doing their part this weekend, but the mayor said it must be an all-hands-on-deck efforts across Chicago if the city is going to avoid a repeat of the past 2 deadly weekends, in which they still have not even apprehended a suspect. And I'm gonna go ahead and just stop right there, because then it just dives into something completely something different. Now here's the post in which somebody tagged me on Twitter from this page called Breaking 911, developing at least 31 shot, 6 dead in Chicago shootings over the 4th of July weekend so far in Chicago. Over 3,700 retweets and over 5,500 likes at 7:18 p.m. It is currently 9:58. I'm willing to bet that this was, but that's, so I don't know which one to believe, because the one that I read was updated. It said, quote unquote, 12 minutes ago, which was within the 9 o'clock hour. This one was posted at 7:18 p.m., which was almost over 2 hours prior to this one. And these numbers are more than the one that was more recent. So see, they don't even have their numbers correct. And this one says that the stats came from something called WMAQ. And again, I don't believe this either. And they still have this one has no witnesses, nor does it have any suspects. Sometimes they claim to have witnesses, but they'll never show you who the witnesses are. They'll never, quote unquote, interview them. But for the most part, they never, ever, ever have any suspects. So, oh my God, this is wild. But I'm not surprised. I called it. I called this well over a month ago. I said, I cannot wait to see what they're going to do for the 4th. I can't wait to see what they're going to pull out of their ass on the 4th and see what they were going to try to fool us with. And the thing is, I'm glad I have people who do believe me when I say that I don't believe this to be true. Not saying that shootings don't happen. They do, but the way that they handle it with Chicago is like a very delicate situation. Remember, I pulled up articles where it says Chicago wasn't even in the top 10 for the most deadliest cities as far as homicides and shootings go. I don't even think they was in the top 50. But they hone in on Chicago all the time. And I said, with the way that a lot of these cops act out here, y'all need to be questioning them. It's not like the Chicago PD is above scandal. They have been caught up in a few scandals over the years, over the last 10 years. The Laquan McDonald one is a prime example. So don't think that they are above the BS, because they're not. None of these departments are. All I'm saying is this, y'all. To those of you who are still confused about this, y'all need to seriously put on your thinking caps and really think critically who are doing these quote unquote shootings. And something Nicole said in the live stream, and she made a good point. She doesn't even believe the numbers are this high. She believes they're overinflating these numbers, or they're padding them to cause drama or create a dramatic effect to get people saying, hey, see, here comes Chicago again. Here they go acting like Chirac. I hate that they compare Chicago to a Middle Eastern location, a war zone. I hate that they compared an American city to a war zone. I really do. I really do. And how ironic that they compare, like the one that they use at when they call it Chirac, they call it with Chicago, that was the more quote unquote black, more dominant, prominent area. But I just wanted to bring this to you. I might update it again if they come out with some final numbers, because I'm willing to bet this thing is going to surge over 100 by Sunday. Remember, like I said, this is Saturday. This will most likely be going up on Monday. So we shall see what more lies is going to spew from this, because I already know it's going to be some more BS to come.